Hello, Rashid Hayek live here from rnbsinginglessons.com. Alright guys, so I thought I'd just do a live today. You can hit me with some questions. I did want to talk about a topic that one of my students asked me about. One of my students that sort of messages me in between lessons. So he was asking me about blend. What is blend? Something I like to call blend. It's not really a fancy term or anything. All it is you have your chest voice and you have falsetto. So blend is simply the action of moving from your chest to your falsetto. That's what I call blend. So, some songs go, for example, oh, like that. Oh, chest falsetto. So the change is what I call blend. So you're just practicing that action of changing from the one to the other. I'm not talking about some middle voice, some mixed voice or anything like that, some head voice or nothing. I'm just talking about changing from chest to falsetto. And I call that blend because the area, when you're changing to chest falsetto, it's a unique feeling that you have to train. So the chest feels one way, and the falsetto feels another way. So going into the falsetto from the chest is a new feeling. That's why I gave it a name. I call it blend, because that feeling for me was very difficult to learn, and I still struggle with it sometimes and crack on it occasionally. So I give it I give it importance to learn it. Like I make lists of parts of songs that have chest to falsetto changes, and I work on them. And I found some students struggle with those changes, getting them accurate. So all you do is go, So when I was talking with the student, I was talking about different songs have different areas where they blend. So it's another important reason for song-based training, because some songs blend from a different part of your chest to a different part of your falsetto. So you got to train each different note and how it works within that song. So say, for example, you're going it's from a song Walking Away by Craig David. Sometimes that's got to blend. That's how you got to do it. That's the blend. So you got to work on that. Another song will have it differently. What's another song that's got blend? 'Cause I give you all. So the blend would be, I give you all, you all. That would be what you have to train. You are, you are, you are. Okay, that's blend. I hope that makes sense. All right, guys, hit me up with any questions you've got. That was a video for someone that already asked that question. Someone else asked another question. These are videos that I've been meaning to make, but I haven't made because I've been busy. Someone asked, or just prioritizing other things. Someone asked the question, one of my students, about how to, how to take runs or like parts from songs, from many different songs, and put them into one playlist on Amazing Slowdowner. Great question. Great question. It's something that I've done before and something I do many times. Hey, the weekend. So let's say you got a list. It's hard to see. There's a list in Slowdowner that you've made, and you want to create a list. I've already created the list here. I've called it 1 a day runs, for example. This is a runs list I like to work on, but they're all from different songs. So how did I create that? What I did, let me show you, for example. I'll just play it. So one of them is this one. A double click works different on this phone. It's taking a minute. So that's from one song. It's by Avian Falstar doing Brian McKnight's back at one. Type. Getting better. This is another one from another song, Avery, but they're all in the same list. That's my point. In the same playlist. Sometimes you gotta lose to win again. Oh, not really warmed up for the high note. And another one from Tank. Love me, yeah, me, yeah. Oh, that bounce runs so hard. Me, yeah. Better. So how did I get them all onto the one list, you asked? Okay, so what do? Is you go to the song in Amazing Slowdowner, you loop the run, and then you export it as an MP3. So let's say I got this run here, it's hard to see, but you go to, where is it? You go to the options, which is on my phone, it's down here. Might be different on your phone. You got export file, and that creates and takes a second to do it. It exports an MP3 file of the loop that you've made. Okay, so make sure you make it at the original speed and original key. You don't have to though. Original speed and original pitch as it is on the phone, and then you export them, and then they'll go into a folder in your phone like Amazing Slowdowner. I think it goes into Music, Amazing Slowdowner, exported files, something like that. So you go to that folder, and then you create a new folder, and you put all the ones that you want in that, like in that one area, the list that you want, and then you go into Amazing Slowdowner, you create a new playlist, and then in that playlist, what's it called? Yeah, you just go to lists, and then in that list, you just go new, and then you create the list, and you go in the list, and then you just go add. So I'm in the 1 a day runs list, and I just go add, and then you go to the folder where they're all contained, where you exported all the files and you put them into the list. That's it. That's how you make a list in Amazing Slowdowner that contains parts of different songs that you're trying to learn. So it could be just runs, it could be, in this example, it's all runs, it's all like elite kind of super hard runs that I've picked. That's it. That's how you do it. Okay, so make the loops, export them, organize them in your folder, and then make a list and add them to the list. All right, hope that helps you, man. That's the two questions that I really wanted to address first, so I got them out of the way. If you guys have any questions, hit me up. I'm happy to answer your questions. Any questions about anything, maybe about the interview that I did with Carl, maybe about something going on with your voice that you need help with, whatever it is. Here we go, the weekend. Remember that I told you about practicing without singing, and it helped me a lot. Fantastic, yeah. Like I can hear every single note inside of my head. I just wanted to say thank you for the tip. You're welcome, the weekend. You're welcome. Great, I'm glad to hear that it's helping. It's a great tool. I use it a lot. It's a great point that when you sing, it's not just the voice that's the issue, it's the ear. Or the brain, like the brain and the ear. It's the ear that is going to process the information. It's the mind and the ear that are going to tell your voice what to do. So if you don't practice listening, and then sometimes miming is a great way to force you to listen, because you're not creating sound and you can't sing over the singer. That way you're just hearing the singer while kind of going along with them, but not actually making sound. Just your mouth is going along with them. It's a great way to trace the singer's voice while still listening completely. I catch the notes, but exactly what I'm talking about right now, isn't it, the weekend? I catch the notes, but my voice is not that fast, he says. Now, great point. Your voice is not that fast. So this is where you got to do the speed training, okay? So if you catch the notes, Now you need to practice at the speed that you can comfortably do, and then gradually push that speed up over time. So spend 5 minutes practicing at like 33%, and then do that for a week. And then the next week, practice at 50%. Okay, something like that. You can vary it in a lot of ways. You can go slow to fast in the one session, every session, or you can just do it slow one session. And then the next week you put it up, or the next day, whatever. It doesn't really matter, as long as you get in the reps where you're comfortable and where you're just about to start to sound bad. That's where it's important, okay? You don't want to be sounding bad when you practice. Maybe only like for a couple minutes at the end or something. You want to do most of your practice sounding good. You want to find the speed that you can do well, okay? And maybe it's just pushing your limit. Okay, so here's an example. Let's say I want to do this run. Love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. Now my voice. Love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. It's not quite as fast as that. Hey, Zabu. I just answered your question, by the way. It's at the beginning of this video. So when this video finishes, Zabu, answer the question that you had about blend. You asked me in messages a while ago. And I made a video about it, just talking about blend and describing it. So my voice is not quite fast enough to hit this run that fast, okay? But I can hear it. I know it's love me, yeah, me, yeah. I know the notes, but I can't do it as fast as him. So I'm going pretty fast though. How did I get this fast? I used the same method I just described. And to get faster, I'll just continue using the same method. So I'll find a point where I'm doing it perfectly, as kind of like a warm-up, and then I'll go to my limit where I'm still doing it good, but I have to really think and focus. And that will be my limit. So here's a third of the speed. Love me, yeah. So that's really easy. Me, yeah. One more. Love me, yeah. By myself. Love me, yeah. It's good. Now I'll go to my limit, approximately, let's say it's about 2/3, 66. Love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. That's about my limit. So what I'll do is I'll probably just go under my limit. So say 50. So that was 66. Let's go 50, because we want it to be accurate for most of the time, okay? It's better to practice really accurately. And so you want to pull off a few reps. You want to pull off like 12 reps. You know what I mean? Otherwise, you're not really making any progress. This is the way I've made progress. Love me, yeah. 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 So I always do it with the singer first, at least 4 or 5 times or whatever, before trying it alone. And then I check alone how I'm going. All right, hope that helps. That's how you develop speed the weekend. Thank you, man. This is a mad run. I love this one. All right, any questions, guys? Let me know. Fantastic question so far. I loved it. Really shows me that you're trying and you're involved, because I know that question, I had that question myself. So I know that you're actually doing the process and you're going through it, and I love that. I love that. Guys, like my hat? Don't want to get too much sun. Sometimes that gives me a headache. I've got to be careful because I get headaches so much. Give me feedback on the video that I sent you. Oh, I think I forgot to look at it, man, because sometimes in the morning I go to the toilet and look at my messages, and like if it's like audio or something, I don't look at it, and then I probably just forget later. So I must have just forgotten. Sorry about that. I don't have it here, I don't think. Do I have it on this phone? Oh, you probably don't want me to play it here for all of YouTube. I'll do something else. While you guys hit me up with some questions, I'm gonna do some training. Let's see. A little bit more on that bounce run. Me, yeah. Me, yeah. Love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. All right, sweet. Let's try the lose to win one. I'm gonna put it down though, in key. 50%. Lose. A little bit slower. I want to be really warm up a bit into it. Lose. 33%. All right, let's go upper key. Down 2 keys now. By myself. Lose. Down 1. By myself. Oh, I'll take a break, listen once. Lose. Nice. Original key. Lose. By myself. Lose. All right. Now I'm going to work on the blend. All right, this comes back to what you were talking about, Zabu. I'm going to work on... Oh, Cole Hinson says, could you help with guys who can't sing high? Yes, of course. I'm doing that right now. I'm training my high voice to get even higher. If you look on my... Look, I have a playlist of before and afters. And my highest note used to be a G sharp. And in that video, I show myself doing the old highest note in my old recordings with G sharp. and the way it sounds, and that was my highest note that I'd ever recorded back then. And then I show myself doing, I think it's a C sharp in that video. So check that video out, and it shows how you can stretch your voice over time and go much, much higher. All right, and continue this. So I'm going to work on the blend a little bit. The blend is the point where he switches from chest to falsetto. So I want to try to work on that bit a bit, because I always feel like that's where I struggle on that switch, to make that switch cleanly. It's always been a weak point of mine. It's something I neglected for many years because I thought I could just never learn how to do that. But now that I've been working on it for the last year or two, it's been fantastic. It's getting much, much better. Ooh. There it is. Ooh. 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 I'm gonna try to do it without moving my head. All right, sweet. It's hard now to transition into it. No, I can blend earlier if I want to, as long as I can do it cleanly. So I can train it to blend the note before. It's hard to do it without moving my head. All right, that's enough. Gives you an idea. Let's go a bit faster. 50%. Sometimes you gotta lose. Close. It's just that blend that gets me. Now. Sometimes you gotta lose. Oh, tired. I'm rushing. All right, let's listen here. Cole says, my voice is weird because I can sing low, but there's a period when my voice goes out and comes back in really high. Sorry for interrupting. No, that's okay. You're not interrupting. It's open for you guys to ask questions. I'm just doing practice in between while you guys ask questions. Because I guess my practice is interesting, and sometimes I use this time to practice anyway, so I thought I might as well sit with you guys and do it. Yeah, I'm not sure what you mean, Cole. My voice goes out and then comes back in. What do you mean by that, goes out? Do you mean it cracks? I'm not sure what you mean, Cole. Give me some more description, please. Or you can send me your voice to check on my website. You can find my contact on the bottom, and you can send me an email with a little clip of your voice. No more than a verse and a chorus, please. Just a little clip of your voice, and then see if this thing comes out, and I can tell you what's going on. Or you could buy a lesson, and we can do a lesson. I can hear it and analyze you and help you right on the spot. Zabu, did working on your falsetto help you with your other elements? No, not really. The only thing it does is it improves your ear, because you're always doing ear training no matter what you're training. So if you're training range, if you're training runs, if you're training vibrato, if you're training the lyrics, you're always exercising your ear. In terms of ear, I mean your pitch and your rhythm. You're always training that stuff. But when it comes to training individual elements, like working on one doesn't usually help the other that much. It's limited, especially falsetto. Falsetto is really separate. You know, like if you work on your falsetto, it doesn't help your chest voice at all. You know what I mean? It's very separate. If you work on your chest, it doesn't help your falsetto at all. So there's no crossover, unfortunately. But there is crossover in other elements. For example, if you're training your runs and they happen to be in like a higher range, you do work on your range at the same time. If you're training your lyric, like your slides and your changing of accurate lyrics, it might help your runs. So yeah, there is crossover, but not in this area, not with falsetto. Yeah, unfortunately. So you do have to just treat it like a separate element that you work on. Okay? When it comes to chest and falsetto, they're both very separate, and you got to give them different times. So that's why I separated that. Did you notice? And then blend is the blending of the chest and the falsetto, like changing from the chest to falsetto, which is a whole other thing I work on entirely on its own, because you see me do falsetto notes now pretty comfortably. A little bit bare there. But you see, like I go right into it, right? But when I'm changing from chest to falsetto, it's a whole other skill, the change. So every skill, every element, the things that I call the elements, chest, vibrato, range, vibrato, lyrics, falsetto, blend, runs, I've made them as elements because I've noticed that they all need their own time. There's a time when you focus on each one of those, okay? Hope that answers you, Zalbu. Cole says, like the switch between my chest voice and my high voice, there's no sounds. Ah, yes, okay. The switch between your chest and your high voice. What do you mean by high voice? Do you mean falsetto? Do you mean when you go, oh, 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 oh? Do you mean like that? There's no sound when you switch to falsetto? Because that's very common. Do you just like crack, and just crack? Like that used to happen to me a lot. And it still cracks occasionally. It's very hard to get rid of. It's very hard. For some people, they're very strong naturally with their falsetto. It's never a problem. But for some people, it's I've been working on it for 2 years, and my method's really good for working on it, and I'm making amazing progress. And I still struggle sometimes. I'll still make those mistakes where it cracks and stuff. It's still like developing. So if you mean that, yeah. If you mean you just try to go to a high note like oh, like, and you try to shout and then it goes, that's because you don't have that high voice yet, and you need to learn to stretch your voice very, very gradually. We can do lessons to show you how to stretch your voice. My courses also have some stuff like that, but I always recommend lessons before my courses. If you can afford lessons, get lessons, because courses are good, but I'm not going to try to make 1 million course sales and act like courses are enough, because they're not. For some people, they might be enough, but for most people, lessons are the best possible way to improve this. Range, it's hard to work it out on your own. A lot of people get really surprised at how they find their range when they do lessons with me. Some people have the range, but they don't know how to use it properly because their ear is not connected enough with their voice, like with the songs they're hearing. So when I connect that for them, they find their range within like 20 to 40 minutes. But some people don't have the range there at all, and they have to build it and create it. So that takes much longer. That takes months to years. And even for the people that find it within the 20, 40 minutes, then they have to get used to learning how to use it and hearing it, and that takes months. Hello, Hitesh. The lowest note in my head voice is really high. Okay. Hitesh says, I love singing, but I don't have a nice voice. Is there anything I can do? Yeah, you can get lessons and study. Singing is like a degree. You have to study with someone who knows how to help you. Okay? So that's what you can do, study. Zalbu, I was training pitch this week, and karaoke has really helped me with rhythm, pitch, and range. Any thoughts? Do you recommend it? Of course, yeah. I went to karaoke for years. It makes you have to fill in the gaps in your voice, okay? Because when you sing without the singer, suddenly you're alone. You're not assisted anymore. So it makes you hear the things where you're weak, and it either forces you to fix them. And if you can't fix them, it forces you to question and analyze your. I recommend you record it, analyze your recordings, and go, okay, this was good, this wasn't good. And I've done that for years. I've gone to karaoke for like 8-9 years, and I record my sessions, and I come home and I analyze it. You know, I always listen to it. I listen to the nice parts. I listen to where I've made progress. I'm like, yes, give myself a pat on the back. I made progress. And then I listen to the parts where it's not so good, you know, or where it completely sucks. And I'll analyze it, and I'll go, okay, what can I do to work on this? And then I'll make that a priority to work on. So I definitely recommend karaoke. But there's some people that come to karaoke for years and they never get better, or they only get very, very marginally better, like only a tiny bit better. So karaoke, it's not it's just one step, because it removes the singer. So it's a one step closer to you practicing singing alone. But it's not really the practice strategy. It's more the performance feedback strategy. Karaoke is where you go to perform. You don't go to practice, if you know what I mean. You are practicing, you're practicing performance. It's not the time when you break things down. That's what I mean, you know? It's a very legitimate way to practice your performance. That's highly recommended, practicing your performance and recording it so you can have ideas of where you need to focus on in your breaking down kind of practice, okay? Very different. Some people come to karaoke for years, and because I went to karaoke for years and I saw the same singers for like, you know, several years, 5+ years. And I see like how people don't get better because they're just performing. They never practice breaking things down. And breaking things down is where you continually make progress with your voice. When you break things down into easier to understand bits, and then you get those bits really polished, and then you do all the bits in a song, and eventually your overall song sounds amazing, or it sounds better than it used to, much better, gradually better, the more work you do. Whereas when people go to karaoke, they go sing every week, they learn the songs, they learn how they go, the melodies, the lyrics, and that's fantastic, but they don't get better overall in their skill. They just learn more songs. And the reason is because they don't break things down. And the reason is because karaoke, it's going too fast for you to learn anything new. That's why. When you perform, the speed of performance, it's too fast to take in new information accurately. It's too fast to take in things that you're missing. So what you need to do is break things down really slowly and in small chunks so you can hear things that you're not doing, so they become a new part of your skill set. Okay? But yeah, use karaoke for performance practice and recording and feedback. The weekend, I have a problem with C5 belts. Sometimes I can hit full voice, sometimes I can't. Well, that's amazing that you can hit it. Keep training it. But instead of staying on the C5, I recommend you practice your A, B flat, and B. Okay, because and practice holding them for longer. So, and doing more reps of them. If you can do more reps of them and hold them for longer, you're building the bottom foundation for that C note, because your voice is going to stretch. Okay, it's like your muscles. You can't suddenly go in the gym and do 100 push-ups. You need to learn how to do 5 first. Okay, and then when you can do 5, then you learn to do 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You can make small jumps like that, all right? So going from G, A flat, A, B flat, B first, working those and getting them really strong, doing more reps on them like you do in the gym. You know, you do 3 sets of 5 push-ups, and then, you know, you find in a few weeks you can do 3 sets of 10 push-ups. So going from the 5 to 10, it's kind of like going from the B flat to the B, and then the B to the C. Okay, so you got to build up. You can't just jump to the hard thing and train the really hard thing all the time. That's why you're getting results that are sort of like, sometimes I can do it, sometimes I can't. So I recommend you train a bit lower before you start trying to do the C in your practice session. And then at the end of the session, do the C if you still got a voice. And the next time you'll see the C is a little bit better. It gets a bit better. That's how I train my range, and I continue to stretch my range with that method. It works really well. Zabu says, get lessons with him. He's helped me. I was surprised at how fast I improved, and I can vouch for him. Thank you very much, Zabu. That's lovely, man. Thank you. Happy for your progress, man. Excited to see where you're going to go, bro. Cole says, what is the price range? I will look after this. It starts from $20, $20 Australian. Sorry, $20 American per lesson, okay? Lessons are 20 minutes. So they're short lessons, but they're jam-packed, okay? So starts from $20 a lesson. Have a look on my website and you can see the details. It's rnbsinginglessons.com. N for Nelly, okay? I've made it affordable. What teacher can you access for only $20 American? Hitesh says, I'm all the way from Nepal. Hey, all the way from Nepal, and I'm all the way from Sydney. USA for me. Hey, Cole from USA. I think I had someone from Nepal once. Hitesh says, I'm watching you since a few weeks, and hey, you have a really nice voice. Thank you very much, man. My voice is the product of hundreds of hours of practice, of breaking things down into tiny little pieces and gradually improving. I do practice a lot, and I really, really appreciate when I hear a comment like that. It does mean a lot. It means a lot to me. If you want to see what I used to sound like to really excite you, I didn't sound like this before, okay? I was a beginner, in the beginner to intermediate kind of stage when I first started. I wasn't a 0 out of 10, I was more like a 3 out of 10, okay? So I wasn't tone deaf all the time. I was tone deaf like 50% of the time. So check out my transformations on my YouTube, okay? I have a playlist. Look up before and after singing transformation on my in my videos, and you'll find plenty there for you. Or go to rnbsinginglessons.com and there's a section there that has it. It's going to be really exciting, Hitesh. You wait till you see those transformations, man. And if you have seen it, let me know if you have seen it. Let me know what you thought. The Weekend says, yeah, A4 is fine. I can hold that, no problem. The problem starts with B. Good. So if the problem starts with B, that means A4 is where you got to do your reps, okay? G, G sharp, A sharp. Do your reps there. It's all about getting the reps in, okay? If the problem is starting as soon as you sing the B, that means you got to put in the reps under the B. Otherwise, how can you train? You know what I mean? Hold on. This thing. The training has to be in a zone where you can pull off reps. Like for example, when you go to the gym, you can't do something like once. You don't do like one rep and that's your set. It doesn't really work like that. They figured out that you need to do about like 5 to 10 reps of something to get the maximum effect, and then you got to do that 3 sets or something before you go to higher weight. You don't just do your 1 rep maximum weight every time you go to the gym. You won't build that way. The voice is exactly the same. It's exactly the same, no different, except instead of weights, we're talking about notes. So lower notes means lower weights. So you got to drop the weight, drop the note to the point where you can do those 10 reps, okay? You want to do those 5 to 10 reps of that G sharp, okay? If you can't do that, that's why you're struggling with the B. That's how I would do it. You can't just train the B once, 1 rep, or do shitty reps where it doesn't sound good. It won't really build, okay? So what you want to do is you want to build. It's like doing weights with bad form. It's not going to build as effectively as if you did it with a really good form. So you want to do great sounding G sharps and A's for 5, 10, 15, 20 reps. It takes about 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and you're done, okay? And then you can touch on the B if you can hit it at the end of the session. And just repeat that process. The more times you repeat it, like once every couple of days or something, you'll find you'll start to stretch up, okay? It's a slow process, but it works really well. It's just like muscle building. It's very slow. You don't see no massive transformations in people within like a session or two in the gym. It does take months to years. What's good, Jim? It's good, man. I miss you. When are we gonna keep our lessons going? I want to hear how you're sounding. Cole says, I know, that's super cheap. I'm like, yeah, cool, man. We'll make use of it, you know. I really want to help students make a serious transformation. So that's why I've made the prices very affordable, you know, because it gives me a lot of pleasure to help you. And it's a fun friendship too. It's a fun friendship during the lessons, and it's a really rewarding feeling. Okay, it's really cool. Zalbu says, pitch is more important than range. A lot of singers without range, but no singer who can't carry a tune. A lot of singers without range. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean. Pitch is massive. I mean, plenty of singers go their whole career and they never do a B or a C. Michael Bublé, for example, Craig David, they're two of my favorite artists. They never hit a B or a C ever on any of their studio recordings, except maybe in falsetto. Now, Michael Bublé doesn't even use falsetto. Craig David does. He's got a nice falsetto. So those two singers are examples that. Oh, Ed Sheeran too. Ed Sheeran never hits a C. Never. I don't think he even hits a B. I think he hits a B flat. And people fall in love every single day. Baby, now take me as you love it all. I think he does B flats in that one, but I've never heard him go above a B flat. I don't think. So, and John Legend too, another really great singer, John Legend. He doesn't go above B flat in what is it? In Ordinary People. He sings, maybe I'll live alone, maybe I'll crash and burn, maybe I'll go. Maybe another fight, maybe we'll, baby, you and I don't think that's not the note, but yeah, like it doesn't go above a B flat. So plenty of singers, man, are incredible, but they don't hit those B's and C's, and that's totally fine. You never need to even hit them. I'm surprised my voice is even stretched to hit those notes. I wasn't sure if it was going to be possible because I always felt like, you know, the voice types, like you're locked in by that. You're a baritone, between a baritone and a tenor, you're a low tenor, you're a mid tenor, high, blah, blah. I always thought that like there's going to be a limit, but I've noticed with training it just keeps stretching. So I don't see why there will be a limit. So yeah, let me bring up one of those notes, for example. Or maybe, let me just turn my mobile data on so I can load a song on this phone on YouTube. And I answer your questions while I do this. Yeah, I think you get my point. You're totally right, Zabu. Totally, you're on it. Hitesh says, yeah, I've watched almost all your videos and they have helped me a lot. They've helped me a lot. Thanks to you, bro. You're welcome, Hitesh. Thank you very much. Why don't you come do a lesson with me, you know? That can be my thank you. Let me show me what you've been doing. Let's have a chat. Let me help you with anything that you're still struggling with, or yeah, just give you analysis. That'll be a big thank you to me. If you don't want to do ongoing lessons, at least do one so we can meet. And, you know, it can be cool like that. You can tell me what helped you. It helps me with my business, with my teaching. You know, Cole says, when did you start? I started singing when I was about 15 or 16. And I started learning how to sing when I was about 20. So I just started singing along with songs for those few years. And then when I was 20 or so, 18 or 20, I think, I started to be interested to actually learn how to sing well, like my favorite artists. And I took it more seriously. And then that's when I bought like a book about how to sing and looked up online about instruments and all that kind of stuff. So it's been a long time. But I did change my focus very heavily onto guitar for many of those years since then, and sort of put singing as the side. Like I always sang, but I put learning singing as like a side thing because I wasn't sure how to approach it. Because the teachers that I went to and that I was looking up were all kind of doing like scales and stuff. And I tried that and I didn't feel that it was that effective. So I sort of left. Singing was like learning singing, breaking things down was like an on and off thing I did every couple of months. Whereas guitar was something I was doing pretty much nearly every day because I was learning new chords, new songs, new finger picking, strumming, all that kind of stuff. All right, so let's bring one up. This is gonna kill my voice, but Ordinary People. So this is John Legend, fantastic singer, never goes above this note, never goes above B flat. So if you can sing like John Legend, I think you'll be totally fine, like you've developed everything. So you don't need those B's and C's, but it's great to work on them. But remember, while you're working on them, do not be neglecting the other things: pitch, vibrato, runs, your accuracy on every note, on every lyric, your pronunciation, your volume, all those kind of things, your falsetto. Don't neglect those things so that you're hitting the B and the C, if you know what I mean, okay? That's the highest note he hits. And you can hear him, he's struggling when he's hitting it too. He's like, his voice goes tiny like croak in it when he hits it. Not croak like cracking, like a little bit of that, you know, quality to it. Because it's hard, you can tell he's pushing to the limit. Maybe another fight. I don't want to go too loud, I'm in the park. Maybe we won't survive. Maybe we'll grow, we never know, baby. You and I, we're just ordinary people. We don't know which way to go. Hey. So you want to make sure, like, see, I can hit that now really comfortably, whereas before that was impossible for me. But I haven't neglected all the other skills that make me sound great when I'm singing the lower parts. Girl, I'm in love with you. This ain't the honeymoon. Past the infatuation phase. Oh, right in the thick of love. At times we get sick of love. It gets more confusing every day. Oh. You know, you don't want to neglect all the skills that it takes to sing like that. So if you can't sing those sections like that, I would get lessons and learn how to do that, as well as range. I'm not saying quit range, keep doing range, but as well as range, put the focus on being able to sing smooth like that. I mean, it feels so good to sing like that. Like, I can't explain to you how nice it feels to be able to pull off all those notes and those changes and just, it's like a buzz, you know. I love it. You can see it in my face. I love performing. I love doing it. I've always loved performing, but when you can perform really well and you know that you're good because you've put in that work and you know the difference between good and average and bad, it feels even better. And that's why I urge like people to try lessons, because it's just, the feeling is just incredible. Zabu, Rashid, you sounds like a tenor to me. Your voice has some soothing quality to it. In that Usher cover you belted, and I was like, damn. Thank you, man. Yeah, I would say I'm a tenor. When I talk, I'm pretty high. I mean, I can do some low notes when I'm talking like this, but I'm not that deep, you know what I mean? But yeah, I would say I'm a tenor, but you know, I train my low range too, so my voice gets deeper as well. It's getting deeper and it's really nice too. I would definitely say I'm a tenor, because when I talk, I sound like this when I listen back to it. Yee West, okay, he's a new person. I tried to practice with low songs and it made my throat hot. Yeah, see, low training can be just as bad and dangerous as high training if you're training too low. So you got to go down slowly. You can't jump right down too low for your voice. You got to gradually go lower. The same way you got to gradually go higher. It's crazy, man. There's a lot to this singing thing, man. Hey, my dude. Hey, Fernando. What's up, man? How's that guitar, bro? Going good? Yee West. I can do low notes, but they aren't powerful. Yeah. So you can build it. You can make them better. You definitely can. But there might be a limit as to how loud they'll go. You know, you can't expect to sound like a bass singer. You know, the same way you can't expect a bass singer to sound like Bruno Mars when they're up high. It is going to be different, because we do have different parts where our voices fit. But you know, the only way you can know your limit is by training. So keep training, and see what happens, see what develops. Because some people have really unique voices, and you'll never know that unless you practice and develop to your potential. Ewa says, my low notes bother me. High notes are a little bit easier. Cool. Show you how to improve that. And sometimes you just need to find where your voice fits and change the songs, change the key of the songs, learn an instrument so you can do covers in your own key that's comfortable for your voice, where you sound killer. Do you know Yeba? No, I don't know Yeba. What's Yeba? Fahim, yo brother, hey, what's up Fahim? Fahim, Rashid is definitely a bass baritone, lol, kidding. I know bass baritone, yeah. Do I sound like a bass? Yeah. Am I a bass? Yeah, this is my birthday voice. Bass baritone. Hey, what's up? What's up? Hey, what's up? That's what with more closure. Hey, what's up? Without it, hey, what's up? Fernando, oh, how I wish to be a tenor. Oh, Fernando. But man, I wish I could have those deep notes like Michael Bublé. I'll hear it and I'll be like, oh. Or baritone, lol. Having a low voice is blah. Oh. And the guitar playing is becoming obsessive again. It's mad, man. Keep it up. Don't quit the guitar, man. Don't quit. Oh shit, bass shed on the house here. Fahim's got a pretty deep voice, man. Fahim's got one of those crazy ranges. I'm always impressed by your range, man. Because when you talk, you're just like, you're talking all low like this. And then suddenly you're like doing these high C's. And like, shit, that boy's got a range. And you do have range, man. I train a lot of people, and it's only a handful that have a range like that. So that's pretty damn hectic, man. Fernando says, Yuba, aka Abby Smith, is the best female vocalist I've ever heard, ever. No joke. Oh, okay. And I have to check this out. What song, bro? What song? Yuba. My comfortable spot is A to A. Okay. A to A, yeah, cool. It's similar to me. Like comfortable, and then the other notes are sort of stretching your limit. The weekend, yeah. For him, oh man, thanks man, I really appreciate that. Man, ASD has been helping me out tremendously. Oh shit, you're on ASD. That's what I want, man. That's great, that's great. And you know what? Why don't you do a lesson with me for him? Come on, man, let's do at least a lesson. Let me see what you're doing while you're using it. So I want to give you as much tips. You're a great teacher. You're online. I can see you're teaching people and you're doing all this, and it's fantastic, man. Let me give you my, let me give you my full knowledge. The best way you can know is by doing lessons with me, because I'll correct all the little things that you're probably not doing, that you're probably not noticing, and then you'll understand my method much better, and it'll be even better than it already is. And I'm so happy that you're using it now. My mind, Fernando says. Okay, there it is. It came up first anyway, hey. She has crazy runs in that song. I don't know if I want to play it because it might take the monetization from this video. Nice, it's live too. Which part, man? Ooh. My Ooh. She's fast, bro. Crazy. Wow, it's like Tori Kelly-ish speed. Fucking for sure, man. I'd love to do that with you sometimes. Actually, your approach rocks. ASD's Bay. ASD's Bay. Awesome, man. That's great. That's great. All right, guys. I got a jet. I'm gonna go back to work right now. But let's hit a little run before I go. Let's just for fun. Where's my ASD at? ASD is Bay. Let's hit a little bit of a. Oh wait, Zabu says, I feel like my voice lacks a wow factor. I've sent you a few clips. What do you say I need to improve on? Yeah, it's gonna get better, man. You gotta keep it's just about that pitch and that stability. You're missing that bit of stability there, okay? The slides, listen out for the slides on an Amazing Slowdown arm. The slides the singers are doing. Those are the things that you're missing a bit, Zabu. They'll get better, man. But you really need to break the songs down at like 33%, something like that, phrase by phrase. Listen to it and try to copy it instead of just doing the whole thing at like 66. That's great, but then have your times when you break it down phrase by phrase at like 33 or 25 and you listen to the details and you try to copy it. And you might need help, man. I might need to, you know, I can't do it all with you sending me clips. I know you're not working, but spend a lot of time doing that. Yeah, the 25, 33. You can do it. You got a good ear. You just need to spend more time, I think, at the 25 to 33. Do you spend a lot of time there? Let me know. I'm pretty sure you don't, because if you did, you probably would start noticing this stuff, I'm guessing. Fernando, it's hard to pinpoint a certain part, but for sure, check it out in your own time. Cool, thanks, man. Yes, do some runs before you have to run to work. Nice pun. I need more runs to work with. We're giving some homework. Well, this is the 10. I've only got like the 10 list that I showed you guys before on this, but I'll just go through them. Weekend says, I was watching a video of Bruno Mars and he strains after A4. Yeah, you can see him like starting to, he's trying harder, you know. I wouldn't call it straining. I mean, all singers are straining when they're getting that high, like nearly most of them, you know, because it's high as hell. Strain is good as long as strain is not a thing you need to think about. You need to think about overuse and incorrect use. So maybe I would call strain going too much out of your ability too soon. That's what I would call strain. Strain is exactly like trying to pick up a 50 kilo weight when you've only ever picked up a 20 kilo before. Okay, it's trying to suddenly do something that's heavy, that's hard. You're suddenly trying to do a loud high note it's way out of your capability. It's that 50 kilos, it's way out of your capability. And that's where strain comes in. Or you're doing a note that's just a little bit out of your capability and you do it too many times. That causes problem and strain and pain. Okay, it's more about that. It's not about, don't obsess about how coaches talk about strain because they usually don't use examples. If you listen to most singers when they're singing high, they usually sound like they're really trying. Adele, Bruno Mars, Ed Sheeran, listen to them, they're really trying. They don't sound as clean as they do when they're lower notes. That's just how high notes sound. Listen to live performances, okay, not just studio recordings. Listen to live performances and you'll see that these singers are struggling when they're doing that, but it's within their zone. They're not struggling enough that they break apart and they can't do it, but they are really trying. And some teachers online call that strain. I don't call that strain. Like, I just call that you're singing on your limits, but it's within your zone that, you know, where you practice. Okay. Damn, getting all these questions before I'm gonna go. How do you sit in the hot sun? So I love the sun, man. I love it. I love sweating. I love the sun. My Amazing Slowdown doesn't work. Oh, well there you go. Sorry, bro, but if you're not doing Amazing Slowdown, your voice is never gonna get to that wow, man, because you need to hear those details. Why doesn't it work? Email me. That's weird that it doesn't work. You said it has a glitch. I think you told me once. Maybe you need to reinstall it. Sometimes strain is bay too, guys. The weekend, yeah, so it's good that I'm practicing B4. A4 is like no problem. I don't know, you know, I'd have to, if whatever the note where it starts to get hard, you have to practice before that note, not that note. You have to start on before that note and do your 10, 20 reps there, okay? That's what I know from my training. I'm waiting for the riff or shed slay me right now. Yeah, Bruno Mars gets raspy after A4. All right, let's hit it. Let's hit some of these. It's unbelievable how I used to say that I'd fallen to heaven. Oh shit. Let's hit another one. This one's ridiculous. All right, I'm gonna struggle on this one. Girl, girl, whew, that's hard. It's getting there, but whoa, it's getting there. That's Brian McKnight. Wanye. My double tap doesn't work properly on this phone. There we go. Have to press harder. Free, yeah, yeah, oh, no, no. Woo. I'm rushing a bit, but I'm trying to do it at the full speed. This is where I'm at currently. This one's Tank. If you dream. Oh shit. That's way better than before. Yeah. My friend Georgie. Try to be stronger. Oh shit, got that growl on. Zacari Cortez. Oh shit, little bit shaky. This one is ridiculous. Ready? Oh, fuck, I forgot it. Those high notes, not quite yet. Nah, gonna have to work on that. All right, that's my list from here. Oh, this bounce run. Love me, yeah. Love me, yeah. Not quite yet. And one more here, this Arabic run. I haven't really learned this one yet. Not quite yet. That needs a lot of work. The other ones I know pretty well. I just can't execute them fully yet. And one more, the lose to win one. Sometimes you gotta lose to win again. Not quite. All right, there we go. That's plenty there. And now I can go. Jim. Yeah, Bruno gets raspy after A4, yeah. Jim, will you be busking on the street? Yes, hopefully. I'm going to try maybe tonight or like as a live stream. That's a good idea. Maybe I can live stream it for him. I love that run. Cured it. Thank you, man. Zabu. Oi, boss. Thanks, man. Man, that Brian is so hard. Yeah, that Brian one's crazy for him, mate. The 1 one is currently working with. Oh, nice. Chris Brown was like hot. Damn. I know. For him, that G5, yeah. And I'll see you next time. Bye.